After an unplanned nap, it's time to get ready for legs. Well, actually, I guess I'm already ready, but it's time to go do legs. That's what I meant to say. Hamstrings, quads, adductors, calves. 4 muscle groups to be dealt with, and I've got a pretty good idea on how I'm going to go about it. So hamstrings, same as normal, hamstring curls. Uh, so at a point of development, you'll reach a point of development where some machines, the stack is not enough weight for you to do, your heaviest set. And it does kind of become a little bit of a hassle. Because, my hamstrings are just like any other muscle. I do want to load them with a considerable amount of tension, aka heavy weight. So the leg curls, and usually it's fine. Like most machines, the full stack is, some machines still are too heavy for when we do the whole stack. So that's good. But this leg curl, the stack is nothing. And I'm not saying that like a flex. Like everybody's doing the stack in this gym. I don't know what they were thinking when they made the torques and the whatever else. But honestly, I think they need double the amount of steel on those plates. But, since that's the case, unless I want to do kind of a lighter set, then I'll just do single leg, right? So now I've got twice the weight for each individual leg at my disposal. So I think I'll get a couple sets heavy single leg curls, and then a couple of sets lighter double leg, which will kind of focus a bit more on squeezing with, because you got to think, your hamstring's pretty much your biceps, so it's a pretty comparable analogy. I'm pretty satisfied after a light set of curls where I really focus on squeezing and I'm just getting that burning sensation. And I'm also pretty satisfied with doing this crazy heavy set of curls where I'm like doing as much weight as I can possibly do, like, kind of having to swing the last few reps. So same thing with hamstrings. Heavy curls and lighter squeezing curls where you really try to burn out. I think you do a couple of each of those and you'll be golden in terms of hamstring stimulation. Yeah, I should do some RDLs too. I think I've been slacking on RDLs. Not that my hamstring development is too hindered, but the stretch that you can get on whatever inner outer head, I don't know the anatomy of the hamstring in that much detail, but it's like with chest. You hit your chest doing pressing movements, but you also do flies. Some muscles have a few different basic, fundamental styles of exercises which you use for them. And some are simpler. Obviously, biceps, right? You got fucking curls. Triceps, you got push downs. I guess you also have skull crushers and overhead stuff too, but in the most basic sense, it's still the same thing. All you're doing is bent to straight with load. But yeah, hamstrings, that stretch position, I think that's going to be good for me. That's why I'm trying to do overhead tricep stuff more, just so I can get more of that stretched position for the long head. But yeah, so I foresee some hamstring curls of a few types, and then probably some RDLs. And after that, I can start quads, which quads I have kind of honed in on a style of workout that I like. I know I'm going to start with leg extensions, just because, for one, it's a pretty good, well, it's not a pretty good, it's the best quad isolator that you can get your hands on. And I can really burn them out. And after a couple of sets of those, when I move on to squats, for one thing, I won't have to go so heavy because my quads are already pre-exhausted. But squatting with a quad pump, I'm a fan. I'll say that. I am a freaking fan. And I never did it for a long time just because in my mind, I thought that if I squatted after leg extensions, I'd have to go much lighter. But I don't know. Even if I do 2 crazy sets of leg extensions, I still have a pretty considerable amount of, let's just call it, pressing power. So I can go heavy enough to fucking feed my ego. Guy just tried to cut me off. Chump. No, but yeah. So even after 2 crazy sets of leg extensions, I can still squat pretty heavy, go to failure. And honestly, I think leg extensions plus a pressing movement, you're good. I'm not a huge leg press fan. Honestly, I think it's just because it puts a ton of pressure on my abdominals, like my fucking stomach. You know, I'm not going to say I haven't come close on squats, but leg press is the movement where I've come closest to fucking, let's just call it soiling myself. Fucking, accidentally filling up the pants with some kind of something, if you know what I mean. Fucking, you get what I'm saying. I don't know why I'm saying shit myself in such a roundabout way, but leg press is the only movement where I've come close. I've never actually done it, but I think just something about it I don't love. But then again, this is kind of going against my, well, let's just say one of my tips is if you haven't done a movement for a while because you didn't like it, a couple months ago, then you should try it just because maybe you'll like it now. But I don't know. Leg press just leaves kind of a bad taste in my mouth because you got to load up a ton of weight. It's just kind of a hassle. Just a hassle. I think squats are probably your best bet when it comes to pressing for quads. Squats or hack squats. That's another thing I think I'm going to phase out a little bit is, when I do those Tom Platz style, well, no, I'll still do them sometimes, but the Tom Platz style hack squats, on the toes, knees like way out in front of you, straight upper leg to hip angle. You know how I'm describing. Like maybe that's good as a finisher, I think. You're fully pumped. You're really just trying to get a burn with kind of a lighter weight. But that kind of set is not going to compare to a hard set of squats, or I guess a hard set of hack squats, if that's what you're into. But yeah. Adductors and calves, basic enough. So I've been talking forever. Let's just get in there and get started. All right, so far we're following the blueprint. I've already warmed up a little bit, so really I've just been sitting on the leg curl for like 5 minutes, gradually doing more and more weight in like increments of 3 or 4 reps. But now I feel warm. I'm ready to load up. I think it says 180. Not that the number matters. I mean, how does that number even relate to the weight? But about 3/4 of the stack, single leg. Let's just go crazy. Okay, fuck, a little heavier. There we go. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Okay. Let's do one more like that. Same weight. And then move on to either RDL or just a lighter double leg set. But that's a solid opener. That's fucking heavy too, jeez. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Yeah, fuck it. I don't want to do RDLs right now. Let's just do another double leg set, and then once I feel like I've done enough, we'll move on to quads. Double leg, a little bit heavier, so now the whole stack. And with this set, you know, those well, I don't know. Those last two sets were like moderate pace. Like I wasn't really just throwing it up and down as quick as possible. They were relatively controlled. But for this set, I'm kind of just gonna sort of try to burn out as quickly as possible. So, you know, I do the same kind of thing on leg extensions. I can either do a set really slow, hold at the top, squeeze, get a crazy burn, and then hit failure in a more, let's just say, controlled manner. Or I can sit in the leg extension, strap myself in, and just bust out as many reps as possible with the stack until I just can, well, you know, barely move. Now, I think, I'm not going to say which one of those is going to stimulate my quads better, but I do end up getting a pretty solid amount of fatigue and a good pump. So, heavy, quick sets to failure, lighter, squeezing sets to failure. And as long as you get that to failure part and the intensity is there, I think you're good. But let's throw this around for, honestly, dude, my hamstrings are burning pretty good. I might only do 3 sets. I'll see how this one feels. I need to think about it for a minute. Let's cut to either one more set here or leg extensions. Place your bets now. Okay. All right. Let's find a leg extension. No, all right, so I've sat here for about 5-6 minutes. I've just been doing a couple reps one leg, a couple reps the other leg, back and forth, heavier, heavier, heavier. Now I'm ready for a working set. So last leg day, I started with a light squeezing set, and honestly, I didn't really like how it felt. Today, I've really got it in my mind that I've got a fucking vendetta against my quads, and I really just want to beat them into a fucking pulp. So that's the current mentality. But let's throw this first set around and go from there. Okay. Let's do one more like that. One more like that. Okay. Oh, yeah. All right. So before and now, and my first working set of squats. All right, I'm gonna set up the racks, set up the safeties, do a few reps to the plate, a few with 2 plates, probably just 1 with 3, 1 with 4, and then I'll decide what I want that top set to be. But let's cut to me getting hyped up for that shit. Holy shit. Whew. Oh, oh my God. Oh, that was good. I didn't have 100% confidence in myself that I could get that last rep, but I went for it anyway. Sometimes I re-rack it without doing that. Oh, that's enough for squats, man. Fuck. Let's do a set of leg extensions, and I think that might be it. Oh. So, based on feel, I'll decide whether or not this is the last one, but my gut's telling me that I'm gonna feel pretty much done after this. So plan is gonna be basically a 2-section set. So pretty heavy weight, and I'm gonna do single leg, 5 reps on one side, 5 to the left, go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth until I feel a solid amount of fatigue. And then I'll up the weight to the whole stack and just burn out with double leg. Fuck it. Whole stack. Okay. All right. Let's go see how they look. Oh, goodness. Okay. So my quads are still burning just from fucking standing up. So let's see how they're looking, you know, underneath the fucking, well, There's a, you can't even count as a pump cover. Whatever. Oh, what fucking ever, man. Let's just pose down and then I need to take a seat. Ugh, fuck. Whew. That was a pretty good set of squats, but honestly, the hype was not there. I'll get into that in a second. Let's just see how we're looking. Oh, dude. I mean, you tell me, is that a fucking quad pump? Ugh. Shit. Oh, God. Oh. I mean, whew. They fucking feel swollen as all hell. Let's see, the hamstring's poking out. Yeah, we're getting there. Some of the hamstring pump is already fucking gone. Oh. Yeah. Let's fucking take a seat and discuss. So, that set of squats, that was good. I'm glad that I went for that last rep. But, you know, I was listening to the Reiner and Berserk theme, you know, when they get revealed. And I didn't get that fucking, like, adrenaline rush of nervousness. And, well, I want to say adrenaline, but really I kind of mean anxiety. Like, what I really like before a good set of squats, honestly, ideal situation in terms of, like, my subjective feeling is I load up the weight, I sit down, I have my song playing, and then while it's playing, as I'm kind of imagining the set that I'm about to do, my heart starts racing. It starts thumping in my chest, and I start getting a little bit fucking, oh shit. Oh shit. As if like a wrecking ball is coming towards me, and I can't move, and it's just like fucking headed straight for me. Fuck. And then run up to do the set. And squats are the only movement that give me that feeling. You know, I never get that level of kind of, let's just say adrenaline for barbell bench or dumbbells or curls or push downs. Only squats ever gives it to me. So I think it's good that I could push myself that hard without, you know, getting hyped up. I think that's the better case scenario, because obviously you shouldn't have to rely on, you know, getting crazy hyped up and excited to do a hard set. You should be able to do it no matter how you feel, which in that sense, I think it was a good thing that I still was able to push myself to failure without, you know, fucking crazy hype. Honestly, I felt very calm and level-headed during that set. Like, even when I did that little yell before I got under the bar, I was like, whew! I really wasn't even getting into it. I think I almost just did that because I thought maybe it would get me a little bit more excited. But either way, I'm definitely going to feel my quads tomorrow, even though I only did 4 sets. Not to say that soreness is an indicator of, you know, a good workout or anything like that. My quads could be fucking on fire for days if I tried to run a mile. That doesn't mean that they're going to fucking grow from that. But it's at least a little indicator that you did something. So, fully pumped, good burn, squeezing sets done. Well, not really squeezing, but I was kind of holding it at the top when I was doing those leg extensions, single leg. Like, I'd hit the top, squeeze, and come back down. Squeeze hard, come back down. Heavy set of squats. Did I say, I meant leg extensions when I said that last little part. Good set of squats, you know, as heavy as I could go for fucking, I could have got 12. I could have got fucking 12. Honestly, I probably could have gotten 13, but still pretty good. So, quads stimulated, fatigued. Hamstrings definitely stimulated. I like that style of going extra heavy with one leg first before getting into the double leg stuff. That's definitely going to get into the routine. But next leg day, I'm going to throw in some more RDLs. I need to get that super big stretch. That hamstrings, I mean, you get a good stretch, but you know, your hamstrings work in 2 ways, right? You got this kind of curling action, and then you also kind of have like a hip flexor action. Or no. This is hip flexion, hip extension. Is that the word? Whatever. You know, it's they come into play when you do RDLs in a different way than hamstrings. So of course, if I want to fucking stimulate my hamstrings to grow, I want to hit them in every way that I've got available to me. So RDLs are going to get thrown in. I just kind of didn't feel like doing them today. So for you, let's get in the car. But for me, I'm going to go sit on the adductor for a couple sets. So that's when you're squeezing your legs together. If you're a guy and you're doing the one where you separate your legs and you're working your ass, I mean, maybe if you're rocking the fucking Hank Hill booty, where it's just totally fucking flat and you've got zero glute development. If that's you, then I guess spam them, spam your hip thrusts. But for the most part, well, actually not for the most part, just in totality, I want to get my thighs thicker, quads, hamstrings. I don't need a bigger dump truck. You know what I'm saying? It's just not my deal. But I think that's all I got to say, man. Let's get in the car. I'm excited to go eat, dude. I've got a bunch of ribeyes. Oh, man. I'll talk about the food in the car. I don't want to spoil it for myself by having to wait through a whole another section of the workouts to eat it. There we go. That could have been bad. That could have been bad. What I was about to say was that went pretty much fucking perfectly. Yeah, pretty much perfectly. Yeah. Squats felt good. Actually, so the squats did feel good, but honestly, I felt a little bit weak. I think, so that leg day was pretty much, at least for quads, the same as my last leg day. But before that first set of squats on the last leg day, one of my sets of leg extensions wasn't as heavy. Right? This leg day was 2 heavy sets of single leg extensions and then squats. Last leg day was a light set of leg extensions, 1 heavy set of, so a light one, a heavy one, and then squats. So 2 heavy ones, I was feeling it. That when I did that 4 plate warm up, so I did a plate for 1 rep. No, I did a plate for 2, and then I did 2 for 1, I did 3 for 1, I did 4 for 1. Just kind of, to get gradually more and more exposed to the weight. But when I unracked 5, I mean, that felt pretty fucking heavy. So I'm glad I was still almost able to get just as many reps as I did on the last leg day, where I kind of felt a little bit better. But yeah, that was freaking it. So heavy squats, heavy leg extensions, heavy leg curls. Perfect, man. I do think I'm lacking on a little bit of RDL activation for hamstrings. That will get added in for sure. But, other than that, I am very satisfied with that. So, I feel like I had something to say, but, my lift was what, maybe an hour and a half max? But I've been there for like 3 hours just talking it up, chilling. So I'm almost like out of the zone in terms of the gym. Now I'm kind of in more of a, let's just call it more of a chill state. But yeah, fuck, what else is there to talk about? Let's just jump into the plan for the next meal. So I'm not going right home. I gotta go pick up some sweets and treats. Need some more baguettes. I've been loving the baguettes dipped in olive oil. So baguette, olive oil, salt, chili peppers, red chili peppers. Oof, that is just a treat. That is just a freaking treat. Then some ribeyes, probably some ground beef with some cheese mixed in. Carbs, fats, proteins. Right? That's kind of how I see it, Like, if you can't manipulate the way that your body looks based on, whatever fancy pants diet you're doing, then, I think you're just overcomplicating it. You're not really getting the results that you need. You got to cut it down to the lowest common denominator. Track your macros, carbs, fats, proteins. If I were to describe, let's just say to the layman, a basic rule for what that should look like, You know, if you try to aim for hitting a certain amount of macros per day, I would say protein, of course, pretty basic. However many pounds you weigh, you want, I'd say, about a gram of protein. So if you're a 175 pounder, you got to be getting at least 175 grams of protein. But I think going over isn't going to fucking hurt you. You know, I feel like people are always hyping up how you can't eat that much protein. It's fucking bad. It's fucking fine, man. You know, going over a gram per pound of protein, it's not going to hurt you. Now, will it benefit you? I don't know. I really don't think so. You know, when I started out, when I was a lot smaller and younger, of course, when I was like 170, dude, I had days back then. Well, my 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 progression of macro tracking didn't start off with actually tracking my macros. First, it just started off with like high protein, low carbs. That was my mindset. So I was doing like 400 grams of protein a day. Pretty much all the time, I'd just be eating chunks off of a Costco, like large 5 pound individually sealed chicken breast. Or no, turkey breast. You know, couple that with some protein shakes and a bunch of eggs. You know, even drinking egg whites, which I now kind of don't really agree with, just because you're not going to be able to break down the egg white protein when it's raw. You're only going to be able to digest about 50% of it. But yeah, no, back then I was doing like 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Just because in my mind I thought, more protein, more gains. But I think only a gram per pound is that's as much as you freaking need. And then fats, I'd say no need to go below 50 and probably no need to go above 150. That's kind of just in general for everybody. And then carbs, I mean, carbs are what you're really gonna want to be manipulating in terms of bulking or cutting. You know, when I'm bulking up, let's just say how my macros change from what I was just dieting at to now what I'm bulking with. The protein stays the same, gram per pound ish. So 245 or 7 ish right now. I gotta see how much I weigh tomorrow morning. But I rounded up to 250. And then the fats on the cut were around like 75 ish. The carbs were about 200, 250, floating around there. So now that I'm bulking up, protein the same, fats a little higher. I'll do like maybe, I don't try to hit it specifically. It just kind of ends up being about 150 ish. But carbs are what really, that's what fills you up. That's what your muscles are running on. That's the easiest source of fuel. So you got to think that's what you should be leveraging in terms of actually being full of fucking energy. So, as this bulk progresses, we'll probably get into some days with 1,000 grams of carbs, 800, 700 up there. And I mean, I'll get that from all sorts of sources: breads, rice, ramen, treats, powdered drinks, whatever. I got 2 fucking little cartons of chocolate milk sitting in the fridge. I'm gonna have to restock on those in a little bit too. But you can eat all this random junk and calories, whatever. But if you don't couple it with some hard training, then you're just gonna fatten up. I mean, fuck. If I ate how I've been eating without actually, doing my cardio and doing these hard lifts, let's just say this: I would look very different. I'd be in a very different physical state. So, I think if you're just a layman and you don't do any physical activity all day and you just fucking sit at your computer, then yeah, I think eating a lot of processed sugars and not getting enough protein, I think that's gonna really fuck you up. You're gonna get I mean, even young people just kind of develop a sedentary look because there's lots of junk in everybody's foods now. But to an extent, I do kind of believe you can outwork it just by being fucking active, having a high metabolism from doing daily activities, cardio for the most part for me, and then hard lifts. I'm not saying it's your best case scenario, of course, to eat a bunch of sweets, but it's not going to hurt you that bad. if at all. But that's just kind of my stance on it. You know, that's how I approach it for me specifically. All right, you figure out whatever the hell you got to do to put some muscle on your frame, get some gnarly pumps, change the scale. So I think that's pretty much all I got. I feel like I'm really rambling. I think I burned off a solid amount of glycogen in that lift. So I'm ready to get home and eat and go to bed. So cardio in the morning and then chest and side delts tomorrow. That is going to be a good lift. I love chest day. But then the day after that's going to be back day, and I love back day too, and then arm day, and then by then the next day will be legs, and we're back in the loop again. I think having you can like specific days, but if you can try to rewire your brain to get excited about every lift, no matter the muscle, then you're setting yourself up for success. But I'm gonna go eat. You better go scarf some food down as well and get to sleep, man. You gotta wake up early. You got a midterm tomorrow, dude. What the fuck are you doing up? Study. If that's you, I feel like I just broke your fourth wall, huh? Really catering to the student demographic with that one. But yeah, I will see you next time.